Yeah.
Perfect.
Feel.
Perfect. Perfect.
This feeling right now, man, I swear it feel.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. It's all about us.
Boom goes the dynamite. We're home, Zoo.
We're home.
We're
Although,
home.
why did it does seem like it's been a while since we've done a podcast? I think part of the reason probably is because we only did that one clip, and that was on a Tuesday.
Leap year, motherfucker.
Could
Yeah,
be.
no, it does feel a little bit like it's been a minute, but it's good to be home in the zoo, with our family, and this is where we belong.
This is the family, yeah.
And there's something about like the home court, home ice, home field advantage that makes you feel a million times more comfortable.
100%. Especially too, like, you don't know who's listening, but you've got an idea of
Yeah, you
what they
think
like
you
to
do.
hear, or at least they know listening to us what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Versus so what we're setting up for is we did a podcast this weekend.
But
with
just to give you some context.
yeah,
Yeah,
but-
we were guests.
yeah, we were a guest on a podcast, and it was a lot of fun. You can go check it out at the Power Passion Podcast with two great, really smart dudes from Australia, of all places. So
Couple
that was cool.
blokes from down under.
From down under.
And we had the pleasure of chatting with them for, I don't even
Good
know.
amount of time.
Yeah, it was a bit, but it's interesting to get into it. Like there was some just getting to know each other at first, but then like kind of towards the end, it started to feel like there was some substance, like some real good substance.
Almost like we could do it again now, and it would be
Yeah, like a really good, like
It
the
would be a
next one
really-
would be a really good one. Like this one was a good one for their listeners to get.
it's more like getting to know us a little bit.
Yeah,
Like they were asking what makes us awkward and stuff like
some
that.
personal
and, yeah.
questions. And,
So if you guys want to know all that stuff, feel free to check that out as well for that reason.
yeah, but all in all, I mean, it's always fun to just kind of spread your wings and
Yeah.
meet new people and get a taste of a different culture.
Well, that was cool. We got to talk about a lot of stuff like more structured stuff, like more than what we ever talk about. But we got to talk more about like the social media stuff, the current landscape, kind of like what it's like for them too, which I think is cool. Like getting their perspective was really cool.
Yeah,
Just being from such a different side of the world, essentially.
yeah, it is. It's a real different place, but it's cool that like it's interesting that it's so different, but yet it's so similar because they're still speaking English and you can understand them.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, I think if there wasn't a language barrier for like other countries and stuff, it wouldn't be as big of a deal, I feel like, as everyone kind of seems to make it.
probably like nationalism stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like
you're
people
probably
wouldn't be
right.
as big of a deal, like, because they wouldn't be, if you can all speak the same language and you can all kind of relate to each other on that level, because we all kind of have the same issues in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of like a cultural thing, like or it's sacred, like that's something that's been passed down for generations.
Yeah.
Since their beginning of time, that they spoke a certain way.
Yeah.
And now, like, here comes, douchebag Americans. Everybody's gonna speak English now.
Yeah. I mean, there's that for sure, but I don't know. Nonetheless, it was a good time.
No, it was fun as shit.
And, but yeah, I feel what you're saying with the home turf thing. Even though we were here and we did it over video chat,
yeah, we didn't
it
fly
was
to
still,
Australia.
yeah, it was still, which would have been so dope. I want to go out there so bad.
Yeah, we'll get there, but we got to have more of a reason than just one podcast, probably.
Yeah, for sure. We got to be going on like a tour
Yeah.
podcast if we're going to do that.
I got some new ink.
You got new ink. How, it looks like it's, the red's going down quite a bit. I just noticed that. That looks good.
Yeah, we're starting to do.
It's really starting to, you can really kind of tell what's going on now, which is good.
It's coming together, dude.
Really
And-
is.
And I am more than pleased with the effort going in. I think it's been a bang up job thus far.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
good.
repping the merch for the shop right now, State Tattoo Company. But yeah, dude, it's coming together. This was a painful session because we shot from the wrist to right above the ditch in the
See
arm.
that top and the bottom part, I don't know anything about, but that whole middle section you got, I know what that feels like, and that wasn't fun at all. And I know it could, like, down here it kind of sucked, so I can only imagine it gets worse. I know it would.
Yeah, real close to the wrist bone is real painful.
But like that's what this is right
ditch.
here, because like my wrist is I don't have a lot of skin on my wrist.
Yeah, you're real thin in the wrist.
I got some bitch wrists, dude. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I've always had like small bones.
It's the hand you were dealt. You know, they say that
when I was thicker, I used to use that excuse like, "Oh, I'm big bone." I'm like, I'm not at all.
Well, they say that that's actually not the big bone thing, but small bone thing is a really good thing for bodybuilding.
Really?
Yeah, because it gives the illusion that the meat on your bones are way bigger than other people's, because other people with bigger bones, it looks smaller, like their muscles look smaller.
Oh, okay, I could see that.
So people that have real small wrists.
Some bro science in there for sure, but
no, there's not. That's legit. That's like a bodybuilding.
Really?
Yeah. If you watch
I'm surprised I haven't been recruited, dude.
Fucking anything, dude. That's like a thing. You know who would? You know,
they're like, you should try some of this.
You know what kind of science that actually is Rick Drayson science. So if you want to call
that from the nub of his pinky.
Nub of his pinky, dude.
He's got more.
Dude, shout out to us for knowing who Rick Drayson is.
For people that are into bodybuilding, they're gonna be like, dude, shout out to these fucking guys. No, realize this while you're listening.
No one is as pure as us.
We know the
who's who.
We know who's who, because we pay attention to
the Mount Rushmore of everything that we're interested in.
I think what separates us is that we have appreciation for the purist, because I think if anything MMA has taught me, and now you, but they have such a tight niche of purists of the sport, dude, that like
so much respect too.
You gotta come with your notes. You gotta know what you're about to come correct. Know what you're about to talk about,
100%,
and be speaking with some facts or some heavy. Like you need to have some evidence if you're gonna just be spouting shit off.
Yeah, so, or you need to be able to truly beat ass like Eddie Bravo. I mean, everyone's afraid of him. That's why he can say whatever he wants.
But like the purists of the sport, though, like they take it to such a real level. So we try and have that same approach for all the purists, because they have those same purists in music. They have the same purists
bodybuilding,
in paintball.
Dude, shout out to me for wearing an HK Army shirt.
I don't know if anyone will know what that is, but if you do, shout out to you. I didn't know exactly.
HK Army is about as what we're talking about is what we're talking about.
Oh man, it's super what we're talking about. His outfit's super what we're talking about.
Yeah, if you know what's up, dude, you'll appreciate what's going on.
Exactly though, but that's the thing. So we dive into things before we just make it an interest. We're not going in all willy-nilly,
finger popping each other's ass.
Yeah, what we're doing is getting shit done.
Right.
So call it what you want, but
yeah,
I think we're doing it right by doing it that way, because then you give respect to the purists.
Well, that way you don't have as negative a comments. I feel like, like whenever I think about having a negative comment on a post, it's because I don't feel like the person that, whether it's a video that they uploaded or a post that they made or something, if I'm like, dude, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Then the reason is because I feel like I know better than they do, or like not as much that, but like I feel like they don't respect it as much as they should if they're going to be talking about it and profiting from it. Like I feel like if you're going to profit off of something, you have to really appreciate the art of what you're doing. It can't just be transactional. There has to be purpose to it.
For sure.
So I feel like that.
Well, and then also too, I think when you try and cater as best as you can to the purists, or you can tell if you're thinking of them and keeping them in mind.
Right.
And I think when you put
Little
something
Easter
out there,
eggs.
I think when you put stuff out there for people, and then if they go to type and talk shit about it, they're gonna step back and go, "Oh wait, he's not part of the problem.
Yeah, we're not.
He's not. This isn't the fight. This isn't the battle."
Yeah, no. Yeah, and that's, you know what, dude? That's the first step, is realizing that just because you have a different opinion of somebody, like if that is the case, say that they have a different opinion of me, and we upload a video or something,
Right.
like. But we're true and authentic and whatever. They're not going to troll. It's just because, again, it's not the problem.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be the problem in that situation.
Right.
Versus, like,
if you're doing a sponsored post trying to sell something to that community, they're going to be like, "What do you?"
Dude, you know who the problem is?
Selling?
So my tattoo artist was telling me about this guy who is, I don't know the name or the name of the company, but he was trying to do some sort of CBD tattoo ointment, and that you put on like while you're doing tattoo and then after care too. And it's like a decent product, and he used it on me, and it's pretty cool. It feels good, but the name was super, super gay. Like, it was like something to do with ink or something like that. And you just don't do that if you're not...
Stinking.
Yeah, it's just something... It was something corny that, like, not a true, authentic tattooer would ever use. And so, like, my tattoo artist is like, I'm not putting...
He doesn't want to have a bottle of that.
Well, I'm not he was going to be partners with this guy. So he's like, I'm not going to put my name on this fucking company that is going to be made fun of by true tattooers.
You don't want to be in that. You don't want to be in that discussion.
Yeah, dude. I'm not selling out just with
for a CBD lotion.
Name.
Yeah.
And that's
someone else will make one anyways.
Because that's ultimately what it boils down to, is it's selling out when you're like, nah, I'm gonna go with the commercially appealing name, and I don't really give a fuck about the Purist. I just care about the money.
What I don't see why people don't do, and I mean, granted, that's kind of the route we're taking. So, I mean, we don't know if it works or not, but I feel like instead of selling out, trying to just get one thing to the masses, why not just try and cater a little bit to each market, each little niche market, to where you have the same, if you're trying to be, if you're trying to get your stuff
the hard
out
thing
there,
is packaging it, right, and marketing it.
Well, but that's the thing. So, like, we package this a certain way, right? This platform. And then we've got the ASB Elite platform. That's so different that we've got now two completely different identities, essentially, that we now have two different marketing strategies for it. We have two different audiences for it. So now, but maybe some of them meet in the middle, obviously, like you'll get those for sure. But like primarily you'll have one audience on this side and one audience on this side. One's coming for this, one's coming for that. And then when we get Awkward MMA started, we'll get the audience from that. And then there's audiences from different things. Instead of just selling out the podcast and say we work really hard to go be on a network.
Oh yeah.
And then we just do the podcast. The network's paying us, say, 6 figures a year plus ad revenue. We're killing it, making bank off of it.
Right.
And we got to change the name though. We don't get to curse anymore.
That's
we now have to have a radio voice.
Fucking problem.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be a fucking problem.
I would agree with you on that, Justin. We've done this before, but this is a little more of a booming voice.
But it's
booming.
Kind of a hit whenever we do the voice changes,
and we can make a clip out of this. Clip. Anyways. That was fun for a second.
That was fun. Hey, you know what I missed, dude? Speaking of fun, is from elementary school. And today,
everything?
No, middle school, elementary and middle school, mainly elementary school. But today reminded me of a day that was just primed for a field trip.
Field trips.
And it made me really be jonesing for a field trip.
Jones for a field trip. I felt that a few times.
Particularly, I wanted to be at the zoo today. And I know we've talked a little bit about the zoo. This is
the only zoo I fuck with. No, I'm just kidding.
My love for the zoos. I love the animals, dude. I love hanging out.
I'm first
with them.
team.
I know.
I'm
dude.
first
I'm not
team all
the zoo
animal.
debate.
I'm first team all animal.
I know. Me too.
Just because you don't, if you're not, I don't know. We don't have to get into a whole zoo debate.
We're not getting into it. Yeah, we get it. I'm sure we'll get into.
I don't necessarily think the zoo. Like I said, I don't know if it's good or bad. So but they're old. They look older and tired, and it just kind of bums you out more than anything. Because I want to see those. I want to see my big cats. I want to see my tigers a little more here.
Yeah, I don't know.
A little more where my tat is.
Either way, though, it's a good time. I just want to be doing
trips.
something field trip related. But other than the zoo,
what was your favorite? What was your favorite field trip that you did?
God, dude, I don't know. I was thinking of the other day actually. Remember? Did you ever go to the place that was? It was like a heart center.
Yep, I did, dude. And then you got to play with the
little heart thing, and then
you to do like a surgery thing.
Yeah, there was a little simulator back when that was like a new thing, simulations.
Wasn't there one of the simulators too to where like you got to like experience a heart attack kind of, or like I remember going in this chamber and like all this wind was coming in.
Dude, I remember that.
It was simulating something. I don't remember what it was. But this is if your arteries stop.
You know what was another one too, that tiny town place that
they changed it to BizTown for us. It was where like you could have a job and they give you little phones.
Yeah, dude, we called it we didn't get phones. Sure as fuck didn't get phones.
We had little phones.
And then is someone trying to get in? And then we
good luck.
Yeah. And then I learned how to write a check though out of that place and balance a check.
Me too.
Got a job.
What was your job there?
Oh God, dude! I think I was a rover, something political. It was
really,
yeah.
You know what mine was?
Huh?
I was the mailman.
Yeah, I believe it. My job there was such a joke, and it was whatever you think I would be doing in that job was exactly what I was doing. Whatever you would imagine me doing.
I was diligent, dude.
I was diligent too. But
I was a good worker.
You know which other ones were great? Was the Science Center. Arizona
Science Center was cool. I don't ever remember going on a field trip with them. I remember in the summertime, Grandma Wanda used to take us.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, we were spoiled with that. Getting to go to we had season passes to the zoo, Science Center.
Did we really? Those were we had passes?
Yeah, fuck yeah. We had year-round passes, dude.
And that was just G-Dubs hooking it up this whole time?
Yes. G-Dubs hooking up season passes to Science Center and the zoo.
It's probably why you're so smart. I don't know why I didn't pay attention that much.
Well, it was always so fascinating to me, like all these different things, and like how it's all connected and how it all works. And like a lot of the time, I just didn't have the time to truly get into it, nor did I really care. I just am more so, and still, like I don't give that much of a shit about a lot of it. I'd like to give more of a shit about it. I just don't necessarily have it in me.
I was always afraid I was gonna get like lost there too, because it was just 3 of us that'd be running around there. It was so big. And then they had that other thing where you could like ride that bike across the rail, and that sketched me out, man. I thought I was gonna fall off,
dude,
so I didn't want to do it.
If anyone wants to go there, hit me up, because I'd really like to go sometime.
I'd like to run it back.
You want to go too?
I'd run it back.
If anyone wants to come with us to the Science Center, we're fucking down, dude.
We're down. You know what my favorite one?
Local in Arizona.
I went to my favorite one was probably archery. Yeah. I went to a fossil museum for dinosaurs and shit.
Dude, I went to one of those.
You did that too?
I don't know if it was
and then they did.
There was fossil there.
They did a whole presentation to where they had like the Japanese dragon thing and the people in it, and they're running around. You remember that?
Terrifying.
It was terrifying. I remember doing that though.
There, you know what?
And I got to have some toys to go home with.
There was a little room in that place that, I don't think we didn't have a dancing dragon. We didn't have that. It wasn't a.
It was more like a performance. It wasn't dancing.
We didn't have
just
a
run
performance.
around.
Yeah, we didn't get that. You know what we got? I think you got that because of what we used to get, which was this fucking Game of Thrones looking dragon head that was just peeking its head out of a door, not a window, a door.
I think we got that too.
And it like.
And then it had that giant T-Rex fossil, not fossil, but it was like a sculpture of the skeleton version of it.
Right what are those called? What do you call that?
I almost just said reptile, but it's not a reptile.
Yeah, that's for sure not it. What the fuck is that called?
Skin and bone.
No, what is it called when you got
sculpture?
No.
Art.
Shit.
Painting.
It'll come to me later. Speaking of Game of Thrones, dude, last episode.
Oh, I didn't know we were speaking about it.
We finally, yeah, I snuck it in. Last episode of all time, though.
I can tell we've been doing it for 43 episodes with you just sneaking it in like that.
It's only been this season that I've brought it up.
Well, yeah, we haven't had a podcast the other seasons.
That's what I'm saying. So I didn't bring it up all 43 episodes.
No, I'm saying so you could tell you're a professional. After being 43 episodes in, now you can just sneak in.
Oh,
got talking.
Show notes. Yeah, I can follow along.
And you can just sneak in got talk, and we weren't even talking about got talk. We're talking about field trips.
Yeah, well, we had a good field trip talk, I thought.
Yeah, we did. Anyways, Game of Thrones, just get it over with.
All right, well, the show's over with, and it was one of those things that ended how the big ending, how Daenerys, I said a few weeks back, she really needed to get her shit together. She didn't. She lost her cool. She had a rough road on her way to that point. Burned the whole city. Terrible affair.
Wow, why would she do that?
She was upset. And then Jon Snow had to fucking stab her with a dagger.
Jeez.
While he was kissing her.
What?
She's his aunt.
Dude, that's some fucked up shit, man. Who watches this? Too many people? That's why we're so messed up right now as a country.
What was devastating?
That explains a lot. He's making out his aunt kills her.
Yeah, he didn't know he was his aunt though until like 2 seasons ago.
People want to give OJ shit.
God, dude, OJ's fucked up. That's funny though.
Comedy.
Yeah. What the fuck? Where was I? Oh yeah. The saddest part of all that though is when Drogon the dragon flies up.
Drogon the dragon.
Yeah, to see if Daenerys is okay, and he's like kind of nudging her and trying to wake her up, and she's got a knife in her fucking heart, so it's not waking up.
Drogon the dragon.
So he picks her up, flies out of there.
The dragon does? Drogon?
Yep. And then Jon Snow ends up being in prison while the new council of all the kingdoms figure out who's going to be the new king. Then Jon Snow ends up riding north.
I say you let Drogon the dragon be king. Can they do that?
A dragon?
Huh?
No. Dragons don't talk. They don't.
Why does the king have to talk?
They breathe fire.
They must have spent all their creativity on the storyline.
Dude, whatever.
Because they call him Drogon the dragon. You can't just change out a letter.
You should.
That's like my name being Hammond the human. No?
I'm sure there's
Hammond the
named
human.
Hammond.
I actually did know a kid named Hanny.
Well, anyways, dude, it's the end of an era, really, is what it is.
Yeah,
and
I'll give it that.
It's crazy that you haven't watched a single episode. Out of all of the...
Yeah, but there's a lot that I haven't done that's like pretty popular.
I know.
There's a lot.
This is probably the biggest.
I mean, like I hadn't ridden on a roller coaster until I was probably 17. I'm just late to shit, dude. Like I'm a late bloomer. I didn't hit the weight room until I was about 16 or 17. Most kids are pumping
Roller
iron at like
coaster.
13. What else was I late with? I mean, shit, puberty, dude. I hit puberty like a week ago.
Better not be, dude, with your height.
Yeah, I hope so.
Hey, speaking of,
So speaking of height, your emotions were high watching
the
the
final
show.
episode, yeah, dude, I was.
You know, and that, but
It's
like,
crazy.
I don't know. I'm excited to see people to stop talking shit about it, and I'm excited
my
to see people
God,
stop
that's
getting pissed at
driving
people
me
talking shit about it.
nuts.
I'm just excited for it to be done in
Dude.
total, and they're gonna forget about it and talk about something the fuck else. I'm gonna get annoyed with that too.
It's such a bummer hearing these people talk, like hearing people go bad on the show after they have like watched this show religiously. And I feel like if you don't watch every episode from the very first one until the last one, whichever one that was, so like season 8, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, whatever, if you didn't watch every single episode from episode 1 until that episode, I don't think your opinion really counts. As far as the continuity goes, you can't be saying like that the writing sucks if you haven't watched episode 1 since it came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
That bothers me, dude. Because your perspective and how you are as a person changes so much over time. And so how you saw season 1 when it came out, I guarantee would be different than how you see it now.
That, you know what? I agree with you on this because it's like the same thing in sports when people say, "Oh, like don't retire," or, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that." Like fans will say something, team needs to do this, like, or a fighter needs to do this. Like these writers and these athletes and everything, like they don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
And people expect like, "Oh, you owe it to the fans, you owe it to the fans." It's like, no, this is their art and their credit. You chose to watch it. Granted,
Right.
they wouldn't have the money to be going on as long, but they could still write and do stuff and sell scripts and still get the job done if they wanted to.
Well,
So it's their art, like, so you could just choose not to watch it.
there's that, but like I think that what it comes down to is
Clout.
and it's not that I'm not watching every episode from 1 till the latest one, obviously, but I'm also not talking shit about it. I think it was fantastic how it ended. I think every single character got, with the exception of like maybe 2 or 3 got honeydicked a little bit, everybody gets where their home is.
Yeah.
You know, like Jon Snow going where he went, best place for him, dude, by far. Bran being king, best decision. Not a popular thing that people aren't about it. I think it was a good call. Everybody else, dude, it was good. Good show. I
Good.
think
That's good.
people need to lighten up about it. But hey, dude, fuck
And
me.
that's Game of Thrones.
Fuck me on the Carolina
HBO.
thing.
Oh, yeah. Carolina, dude, it's so weird when a team beats the shit out of a team.
And then gets the shit beat out of them.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you sweep a team and get swept? And then it's not even like, wasn't like they swept the first round, whoever they played in the first round. They didn't sweep until round 2,
Well, you
and then
would
they get swept round 3.
You would think that like there's such an intimidation factor for a team that just swept another team to be like, Jesus,
Because Boston
guys
won,
just
what, 6
rolled-
games?
I don't know, but like Jesus, these guys just rolled through this team in 4 games straight, allowed 2 goals the whole series. Blah 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 blah. We're fucked.
Yeah.
You know, but that didn't even cross Boston's mind at all. They mercied them 4-0.
The games weren't even that close.
No, dude. I think the final game the score was 4-0, if I recall. But
Sounds like they just didn't want to be there.
that's what it felt like, you know, on the scoreboard. I didn't watch a single game, but
Well, they're down.
on the scoreboard, it looks like they didn't want to be there. I imagine that that's not the case.
Stats show. Stats say.
I'm not that guy. I'm not going to be
Well, I'm
that
going to
guy.
say this, guys. If you're Carolina Hurricanes, if you're listening, I'm going to tell you this, okay? Listen up real quick. If you're a Hurricane. You guys lost in the 3rd round, right? We know that. That's okay. Question is, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with the next season? That's a golden question. What are you going to do with the next season? Are you guys going to do that again? Go 0-4 the first 4 games? What are you going to do with it?
Yeah. I honestly thought they were going to take it to the house because
I don't even know what to say because we kind of both did. We both were like, "Oh yeah, Carolina."
Well, they're just such a
Why we're
force.
not a sports podcast?
They're just such a force when they make it. I feel like historically, anytime that they've
They
ever
actually go to the
made
playoffs.
it, yeah, like once they've made it to the playoffs and then out of the first round, and then for them to sweep the second round, I'm like, dude, they're winning the whole thing here. Like,
Yeah, because they came out hot.
yeah, but then Boston was like, nah, we're gonna.
But
sweep
all those games off though, could
Yeah, there's that. That's the other side of the coin, and obviously that,
made the best team win in that kind of situation. Really,
and it did. So that's that. But shall we get
Yeah.
into our socially awkward story time?
Socially Awkward Storytime. Yeah, let's do it.
This is a fun segment, dude.
I like doing it.
Me too.
Sure, how we're gonna read that?
I'm gonna zoom in.
It drives me nuts. You don't like hamburger style.
Well, for this, I hamburger style.
Okay. 86 upvoted.
Huh?
86 upvoted.
Yeah. So this is from our new segment, obviously, the socially awkward story time. This is the third one. And it's a fucking hit for me. It's a hit for M&D.
And they're released
Their mom and dad.
exclusively on Fridays.
Yeah, they listen.
Something
but yeah,
to
we
kick off in the weekend. And
we clip it out
chill.
for Fridays and
That's what I just said. Yeah.
zip them up. So, anyways, this one comes to us from young Jessica. Young Jessica.
And Jessica. I'm guessing her name's Jessica, and she's just spelling it fun.
Yeah. I'm a socially awkward introvert, and it shows at family parties. Well, this one we have some context clues that it's probably a female. Right? Is that fair?
Well, I mean, read it.
Well, her name.
Oh, yeah.
But
I thought you were saying after that first sentence. I'm like, I'm not sure where that's giving it away, but
no, but her name though.
Well, she got 5 upvotes, so it's probably a female.
During Christmas or times of family birthdays, I have no clue what to talk about with my aunts or uncles or cousins, and I just feel like an outsider, even though they don't think so. I really do try and not use my Switch as a backup, but can't help it. I really do try and not use my Switch as a backup, but can't help it.
What's your Switch?
All right, well,
We need to know what your Switch is.
Hang on. We'll get into the last sentence. Let's deal with the first sentence. I don't think it matters if you're a male or a female with that first sentence.
No.
During Christmas, we're not near Christmas, right? We're in May. So pick a holiday that's closer, that's a gathering. But we get it, as far as gatherings go and feeling like an outsider.
Christmas is like the main one, so I get it. It's okay to say Christmas, Family birthdays, I have no clue what to talk about with my aunts and uncles. See, I feel like that's normal. We as you get older, and I don't know your age, but like for me, it's tough as shit because you just go. These people watch you grow up, but they're not like so involved in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where like they watch you grow up from a distance, but they're not that involved
like
to where they know the ins and outs of everything going on.
It almost seems like I know I feel like I know them better than they know me.
Right.
And that's what makes it like
awkward.
A little bit. That's why I feel like, because I feel like this too, not just with family though, or family events. Like I feel it at business functions. I feel it at any sort of a networking thing or whatever. But it's like, I feel like an outsider, even though the people don't think so. And,
yeah,
that's just, I think it's because you might feel like you may know more about them than they know about you. And maybe you're not letting them know everything to know about you.
Also, too, like there's so much pressure that goes on for people. Like feeling like, oh, it's my family, it's an aunt, it's a cousin, we've got to be like
On the same page.
we got to be on the same page with everything because it's family.
Right.
But I fare on the side more of the argument that there's family and then there's relatives. Fortunately for us, we've got a lot that we can call family, but there's also some that we can just call relatives. And
That's people you share DNA with.
that's people you share DNA with. Yeah.
That's
So I
it.
mean, your family could be a buddy. Like our family's pretty big outside of just people that share the same last name with us. But I think that's more that, because there's just that disconnect and you don't see each other all the time. And if you don't talk, and depending on your age, I mean,
And also, too, I think it depends on how much time you spend with yourself and how, like, developed you might be. Not in comparison, but, like, in relation to other people
sure.
simultaneously. Like, it's not a competition as to who's more woke, but if you got one person who's super open-minded, super willing to do new things, and super caring, nice, blah blah blah, whatever, and then you've got the opposite of that, or just on a totally different path as far as like what they think success is
Yeah.
versus the other, it makes it very difficult to connect on that same page and be like, yeah, let's just talk about whatever, like.
Exactly, too. Yeah, and it's also knowing like your audience too. I think is so important when you're having a conversation with people, is knowing your audience, like who's listening and what they care about, because if I say everything how I would say it normally with what I do for a living, my life, everything, I would come off as a giant douche. And so would you. Too general. Possibly. Maybe not. But then
Hope
there's other
not.
sides to where you're not at all. So you just kind of have to know, I feel like, who you're talking to and choosing what you talk about with them. Like if they're not, if they're more funny, laugh and talk about funny stuff. If they're more business related, then talk about business in your
But
work.
that's not being fake. It's important
Yeah,
to
that's not being
say-
fake. That's just knowing your audience.
Yeah, there's a big difference between being fake and then accessing the part of you that another person also connects
Mhm.
with, so that you have a pleasant interaction. Like it blows my mind at how much confrontation and disagreement goes on, because like there's a lot of things that connect all of
Mhm.
us, and if we just allow ourselves to think through those lenses of those interesting things, that like I know that other people are interested in sneakers, so like
We're gonna talk about sneakers. I'm gonna bring up sneakers.
I'm gonna bring up sneakers, and if I bring up sneakers, I'm gonna come correct. I'm not gonna just.
And that's where the purist thing. This is full circle. That's where the purist
full
thing,
circ, dude.
That's where the purist thing comes in, because now purists. So if they have that interest, you've got enough to get you by in the conversation because you take the purism into consideration. And even if you don't have your shit correct, if you come into the purist mentality, you'll go to them and ask them questions. And if you ask them questions, they feel comfortable. Now you don't have to do any of the fucking talking because they're ranting about.
And you're learning about stuff that you're already curious about.
Yeah.
So now you're just killing two birds with one
Dude,
stone.
we should be the socially woke podcast at this point. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're dropping gems here.
They're not all like this.
No, they're not.
I want to know about the Switch, though. So the last sentence says, I really do try not use my Switch as a backup plan, but I can't help it. Are you an alien?
What is a switch?
You an alien? Is it some sort of a thing that like you flick it and a beam comes down and just you zip up into a UFO? Is that the deal?
I really do try and not use
My Switch
as a backup, but can't help it.
Now, do you mean Switchblade?
No, I don't think so. Well,
I really do try and not use my Switch as a backup.
Hold on.
I can't help it.
Hold on. Is a Switch that Mikey, our cousin, actually was talking about it? Maybe it's no, it's not because the name.
Blade?
No, a Switch. Don't they have it? Isn't it like a gaming system? The Nintendo Switch.
Oh, I don't know.
I heard him talking about it last Christmas time. Last time we saw him.
Okay. Well, maybe it's the new PSP. Maybe it's the new Nintendo Portable. But if that's the case,
I don't know though. I can't think of
We
any.
got-
That's the only thing I can think of.
so literally
Unless-
young Jessica is playing video games at family functions.
But maybe, or it's her switch to
Different realm.
to Loki, to be introverted or extroverted. You know, maybe she uses her switch to be an introvert. That's just what she calls it.
Jessica, if you're watching this,
Or if someone knows, like if a switch, what a switch means.
Yeah, we'd love to know what the switch is, because if you are an alien, we'd love to just dive in and
I don't think
hear
she's.
more
I,
about
no,
that.
I don't think that with the switch
Just
thing.
beam you back up,
I don't think that.
huh?
I don't think that. I think
Okay.
that's a conspiracy. I
Well,
think that's fake news coming out of your end.
it's not. I'm.
Sounds like you're trying to get us clicks.
Z. It's speculation. It's not nothing.
That's how
more
clicks
than that.
start.
It's not.
That's how virality starts.
It's not nothing more than that. Speaking of which, we don't know where those guys went. We were talking about that one time. Those guys that visited Area 51.
Oh yeah,
That's nuts.
but back to this. I get it though. I get it with the not being not knowing what to talk about at family birthdays and stuff. Because you get to a certain age too, to where it's like,
Dude, I think we answered this sufficiently. I think
you want to talk about more?
I think spending any more time on it, I think we're damaging, the value that
product.
we've. I think we dropped some good knowledge on this.
Yeah, I think we did too.
I think if you go into every conversation with a purist heart and a purist mentality.
Now I'm starting to be awkward. This is where our social awkward kicks in because the screen's still up to this, and
Oh, you need me to
I'm
move.
just kind of defaulting to what's on screen. Well, next is current events. We can take that potty break.
Do you have to go?
I would like to.
Okay.
For currents.
All right, well, let's do that, and we'll be back. And we are back.
We're here.
Welcome
We're
back.
here.
Welcome back again. We forgot to do this again. I'm Jay.
I'm Z.
Justin. What episode is this?
We're on
43?
43.
43, dude.
It's a lot.
Time flies. We're almost at a year.
Almost 9 away.
Wow. Let's jump into some current events. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll do it.
Let's do it. All right. First one. Video shows men allegedly forcing puppy to drink beer from keg at frat party.
All right, man. Let's see what
Blood's boiling.
let's
Let's
see what
we
this
got.
guy did.
Blood's boiling at first glance. Let's see what ad we have first, because God knows there's going to be an ad.
Yep, I got us.
No, we got a jewelry ad. Was somebody just trying to call me? Who's trying to call me? This is
His ad's ridiculous.
this is so fucking obnoxious.
ad
This
from the
ad,
19 freaking 89.
dude. Hey guys.
Where dreams come true.
Let's go!
This video posted online is only about 5 seconds, but that's long enough to upset people. Investigators with Nassau County's SPCA say this video showing someone in a backyard party picking up a dog and putting a beer dispenser into its mouth is disturbing, cruel, and unacceptable.
Had no choice and say, hey, I want a beer and I want to pour it down my throat. So it's wrong. On every level, it's wrong in just rational thinking.
Investigators say
Agreed.
the owner of the dog is in the video and is a 21-year-old senior at Hofstra University and a member of the Alpha Epsilon Pi fraternity. A detective with Nassau County's SPCA went inside this home that he says he
Nassau,
returned to the
Bahamas?
house to check on the welfare of the
No.
dog and approximately
Let's
10-month-old
turn this
Charles
off now.
They
I think
say
we're
the dog
good.
was in the frat house, is held
I don't even know if we need to read any of it.
Dude, these kids, man, what the fuck?
I don't know, man. This is like
Long Island.
so
Okay, they're in
so far
New York
away.
University.
Yeah, Hofstra. Like, in what way do you think it's? So I'm trying to think back to 21. Like, that's not that long ago for me. And I'm trying to think what I was doing at 21.
Trying to get on Barstool, dude. That's what the kid was doing. You know, that's all, and that's what Barstool's become. Is let's go,
America's home video for
let's go,
For
let's go,
send it.
let's go. Like throw up some weird Barstool gang sign saying "Let's go," and then fucking crush a beer.
I mean,
Now
I
you
don't
got
even know where to
dogs
begin.
doing keg stands.
That goes part of the thing, you know, just the whole state of the game with social media in general right now. Not even to bring that into this, but people are constantly trying to just one up everything because they want to get that view, they want to get that like, and uh, I don't know, man. It's such a bummer though. Like I don't even know what to say other than like go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah, I know. I felt like we had to share it because this is the stuff. This is why we're like. This is why I have an issue with like the whole Barstool community on Instagram is because it's become stuff like this, and this is what people are doing, tagging, you know, trying to get onto
Right.
pages like that.
In all fairness, like
it's not Barstool's fault.
Exactly. It's not
I'm
Barstool's
I
fault.
don't want it to me coming at Barstool. It's like just what it's become.
Mm-hmm.
The situation that's become about.
Just think about ridiculousness of the show. On all these shows, they all say at the beginning of the show, "Do not try this at home."
Yeah,
those might help because this stuff wasn't really happening as much, and now, you know, you don't get those disclaimers. I don't want to sit here and say that those freaking disclaimers are stopping people from doing stupid shit, but
well,
I just think
it's a totally different process on with those shows versus these pages.
Yeah, these pages, you just send a DM and then you're good. You're like,
Right.
oh, okay, cool. Now I'm gonna get famous off of this.
Right. They think, well, yeah, and it's
I'm gonna get 1 million views doing this. I'm gonna look like such a fucking
beauty
stud.
Look like such a beauty, and it's such a not, you know.
Yeah.
So
it couldn't be further. It couldn't be further from that.
yeah, and like that, I don't imagine that that's what frat life is supposed to be like. You know, there's I
think there's a lot of that goes on. Like not necessarily that, but I feel like there's a lot of this kind of stuff happening. Whether it's hazing people in a certain way, but I don't know. I mean,
there's
I didn't go to fucking college, but
there's some booster alumni guy somewhere that's going, dude, this isn't what frats are supposed to be. I don't like where we're at. Not that the old way is better necessarily, but like we weren't doing this shit. Yeah, like we were maybe feeding beer to donkeys. You know, maybe a bucket of beer to
Or
a donkey.
goat.
Not me, but like this is what the older generations were doing probably. I don't know. This seems like it's like you're trying to get.
It just seems cruel. I would think in my mind, I'm like, dude, I don't know if dogs can take alcohol.
Like, dude, I'm gonna go to your party and ring you upside down, and let's see
how long? Yeah, let's
see how long you can keg stand for. You want to party, dude? Let's party.
Yeah, dude. Because like,
let's do keg stands.
The other
see
thing
how long
is
you
too,
can go.
though, is it sets such a bad example, especially in the world that we're in right now, to where everything's on camera and to where everything becomes an article. It's not helping the case. Oh,
Dude, they were
millennials are
trying for
stupid.
that, though.
Millennials are this. Millennials
That's the
are
problem.
that.
Is they knew it was on camera. It's not like they were thinking that they were low key about it.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying is part of the problem. Is now like
Crazy.
everything gets out there. So now you're out here. You got it. You got suspended. And now you're setting back our group of people. Setting a bad example because there's a lot of great things about millennials. Like millennials aren't all bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great things that I feel like you get from being a millennial, but this shit is just setting it back.
Yep. All right. What else do we have? Hopefully, let's get to a brighter note. Your unborn kids are going to be known as Generation Alpha. We hear from parents and marketers about the children of millennials born from about 2011 and swiping touchscreens before they can read. This is a hot button for a lot of people. A lot of people think this is a big issue. Are those off-white shoes that babies rocking?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. In a very berry hibiscus, it looks like. And an iPad. And a Supreme shirt. Dude, this is my son. And
Cool
Sonny's.
kid.
Max is only 3 months old. Can you zoom in just a scotch, please? Max is only 3 months old, and as such hasn't got much of a personality yet. Beyond very smiley or very, very upset, says 35-year-old Dan, a freelancer living in Walthamstow.
Walthamstow.
Fair enough. Dan, who lands on the older end of the millennial age bracket, is currently getting to grips with raising his newborn son. It's interesting to see how much screens capture his attention already. Generation Z have until recently been obsessed over by media, brands, and advertisers alike. Who are they? How will they act? These small people to follow the much maligned millennial. Where millennials were entitled, anxious, and narcissistic, it was determined by those with a stake in identifying specific markets and selling to them, that millennials, Gen Z successors, were growing up to be social justice warriors, digital natives, and teens with a more fluid understanding and experience of sexuality and gender, knowing we really added the term Gen Z to the wider public lexicon a couple years ago. You may have also wondered what could come after a digital native. I imagined unborn tiny AI nightmares. After a quick Google, it turned out experts in the field of advertising and marketing are on it already. They're labeling post-Gen Z kids as Generation Alpha, a term often attributed to Australian researcher Mark McCrindle, and those babies are being born this very minute. To the likes of millennial parents like Dan, speaking to The Guardian at the start of the year, integrational expert Henry Rose Lee described alpha infants as babies, millennials on steroids. You know, smart kids, basically. We're getting smarter.
But it's saying like social skills, either lack thereof, or buying habits and stuff like that. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm like right on the cusp. I don't know if I'm Gen Z or if I'm a millennial. I'm like kind of right in the middle there where they haven't fully figured out the dates.
I don't think they have specific dates. Like, I think it depends on what website you're on.
Yeah, they're still trying to figure it out.
I've seen different year spans.
Some people want to just be millennial. I would prefer Gen Z just based off of the name thing.
Yeah, it's a cool name for you.
Mm-hmm. It's fun for me, but I just don't necessarily see this as a bad, like, you know, like we always look at change, I feel like, as a society, and then like they're constantly comparing it and saying it's like better or worse.
Well, I think there's a lot of that, but also too, I don't love the fact that they're I don't like what the data and all this is being used for. It's all about marketing and selling to. It's not really about making generations better or smarter or wealthier or stronger or anything like that. It's about understanding who these people are so that we can sell them whatever we're selling. And like I don't know how,
you know, but
like I don't know how any of this data is being compiled or what really is being compiled and what, like, it goes back to the numbers thing like I was saying earlier. I'm just not that much of a numbers guy.
All the data that's being compiled is pretty much everything that you agree to, more or less. So like the way that they get the way they get your interest on Instagram is they just pull.
Yeah, but like those don't always have to do with like who you are as a person, though, is what I'm saying.
Right, and that's where some of the flaw is. But like,
there's just a big disconnect between what these people are seeing.
A lot of it though comes from the skill of the marketer though too, because like, for instance, if you're trying to target a group of people and interests, like you can be way more in-depth targeting by trying to find, say, things that if you knew people better and what they were interested in, you would know what to target more than just generalizing people. So I think as this gets better, my counter argument to this is that I almost think that it's going to be better for the world because at least you're being sold what you want, all this data versus before you got to watch these bullshit commercials on TV of something that you've got nothing to do with, like that you have no.
Well, I wonder
So
how,
at least now it's being targeted to what you care about.
I wonder how these kids though are going to be interacting with, socially the older generations, because like I know some babies that have been born recently that are
No,
like
you
they were
don't. What are their
talking,
names?
huh?
No, you don't. What are their names?
Fucking I got Braxton.
No, I'm just playing with you.
Braxton and KJ are the two that I got in mind, and one of them is super social, talks a lot.
Yeah.
The other is not very social, doesn't really talk at all, and they're both kind of in that. They were born, I think, within a week of each other.
Yeah.
These two babies. One's what is he? A cousin?
Yeah.
Cousin, and then
He's
one
two?
was a coworker's little ankle biter. But anyways, point being, he's got technology. He's in this new generation. He's just got information all around him at all times. And I wonder how observant he is to his surroundings. And maybe that's why he doesn't really speak that much.
It could be, for sure. I think there's a lot of truth to that.
But
Because I don't know, though. I mean, I just don't see it as being such a negative thing that I feel like a lot of people do. Like, all this world, they got all this information about you, this data.
it's not as this isn't really as much about that. Like, I think it's more about the social issues that come with being so trapped to your technology from such a young age.
Well, and brands too. They're talking about brands.
Yeah, there's that, but you don't have like you don't have to go out and play because you're busy on the screen, or like you don't really know how to talk to people one-on-one.
Yeah.
Or 1v1 because you're just typing, and that.
Yeah.
I think it could be an issue, but
For sure.
also like if they're on to bigger and better ways of communicating than doing this or whatever, because oftentimes these verbal communications lead to disagreements, which then lead to arguments, which not you and I, but like in general with humans,
I see what you're saying.
lead to fighting, which then leads to war, which then leads to killing and blah 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 blah, murder. All these things are bad things that we have to deal with. If we could eventually get to the point where we could avoid those things by not talking at all, fuck it. If that's the answer.
Well, I don't think it ever will get to that, to where like there's no talking at all, but I think it'll be easier to find the right groups, the right friends.
How funny would it be though if there was a giant intercom? Not a giant intercom, that's a little creepy. But like a little message on your phone, that just pops up and says quiet game starting in 3,
So Amber Alert.
Sort of like that, yeah. But quiet game starting in 3, 2, 1, everyone shuts the fuck up for like 30 minutes. The whole country. Imagine that,
They
dude.
wouldn't do it. I mean,
nobody would ever do that. But fuck me, dude. How funny would that be if you were like in the middle of a business meeting, like real stressed out? Imagine that. Like you're in the middle of a real stressed out business meeting. One guy versus another guy. You guys get a notification that says quiet game starting in 3, 2, 1.
And you're just like,
or you're in the middle of getting fired, or you're firing someone, and it's like 3, 2, 1. Real awkward.
Quiet game, and then like a little timer comes up, like you have 20 minutes left.
Yeah, that would be weird. That's like a weird variation of a purge like concept.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. It's a creepy concept. Yeah, very sawish. I don't know. Tech wise,
I'm kind of for it as far as just having a quiet game though.
I'm not, dude.
Maybe once a month. All right, what else do we have here? can bounce out a Generation Alpha. Boom. I don't know if we're 3 for 3, 4 for 4 on our calls to actions being executed, but look what we got back. Woodstock 50.
Boom, boom, boom. This guy could not be more Woodstock.
Back on
In the
after
picture.
Zach scrolled down too far, so I couldn't read the title, but
Back on after judge rules in their favor in cancellation case.
so judge must have listened to the pod. Barry, shout out to you, ruled Wednesday that Woodstock 50's former investor Dentsu Aegis,
Who was it? Ja Rule?
did not have the right to announce the cancellation of the festival after polling their financial backing. The ruling means that Woodstock 50 is back on, barring any other unforeseen circumstances.
No,
Boom.
Woodstock 50 LLC claim the money. They've an LLC for every single Woodstock they make?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
Damn.
For sure. Yeah, well, we move mountains, dude. That's what we do here at Socially Awkward Podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we
just wanted to give you guys an
it needs
update.
it needs to be on for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
we just wanted to give you guys an update on the Woodstock situation. It's back on, so
yeah,
you're
they got a
welcome.
court date. It looks like an investor had an agreement. I mean, you guys can look into the
deeds.
deeds. We're not reporters.
Nobody actually gives a shit except for the fact that it's back on. I don't think anybody cares.
It's on.
Woodstock.
Dude, this.
How funny is
I
this?
bet we have. I can't take it serious, especially because kind of know him.
We know Doug Ducey pretty well.
Oh, I got a story about Doug Ducey actually, real quick.
Go for it.
So, you were actually there.
Oh.
We were at that event for Child Help, and we were walking by, and I couldn't see anyone I knew or anything like that. So I finally saw this woman that we've known for Child Help for years. She's the sweetest lady in the world, and I was talking to her, and Doug Ducey was saying hi to you, M&D, everyone, and he went to shake my hand. I didn't see him. I didn't notice him, and then we went to go walk by the bar, and then you go, you just stiff gov? And I was like, sorry? You're like, did you just stiff governor? And I'm like, what do you mean that I just stiff the governor? I'm like, Governor Doug Ducey just tried to shake your hand. You didn't? You didn't even acknowledge him? And I'm like, oh shit, my bad.
Yeah, dude,
I was
right,
so
dude. I remember
embarrassed.
that.
You were like, what's the problem? You can't shake Gov's hand? I'm like, what do you
Yeah,
mean
it's-
shake Gov's hand? Who?
That's so funny.
I wasn't even expecting him to, I just don't know.
That's
Anyways.
so funny. So, anyways, Arizona Governor Doug Ducey signs bill legalizing nunchucks. Duh.
Yeah, get Nick and Nate Diaz looking over here.
Press play. Yeah, we got Diaz brother instructions for everybody. Right after the ad.
There's 15 seconds of. Oh, Big Bang Theory. You guys don't have enough people watching?
They're done too now, right? Oh.
It's like you turn it down, it pauses.
I don't get Big Bang Theory.
I don't either. I get that chick though.
Nunchucks. They were popular back in the 60s and 70s primarily because of
that
kung
Mac?
fu
Yeah, I was
movies,
just gonna
say, is that
but they
Mac
were
back there?
ultimately banned in many states
Everybody
around the
that
country,
does
including
nunchucks
Arizona, out
looks
of
like
fear
Mac.
that people would use them
Even
as
if you're
lethal
good at them.
weapons.
Well, fast forward to today, and the ban has now been lifted. Governor Doug Ducey signing legislation today removing from the list of deadly weapons nunchucks. Fox 10's Matt Galka is live at the Capitol with the details. Matt.
Well, John and Kerry, for the past few decades, nunchucks were categorized along with automatic weapons
That
and
is
sawed-off
crazy.
shotguns. One of these things is not like the other, right? Well, that all changes today with the signing of this bill and the lifting of this ban.
Ready, one.
Sean Sample runs a martial arts supply store
Not
in North
fight
Phoenix. Nunchucks aren't for him.
Fighters
He
in
focuses on
Scottsdale.
karate, but he sells
We
the
don't
sticks
do
at his
karate.
store.
We don't teach nunchucks here. We karate means empty hand, so we don't use weapons. We just use punching, kicking, blocking, striking.
You guys do
The
punching,
governor
kicking,
signed a bill
and
Friday
striking?
lifting
That's
a
cool.
ban on nunchucks in the state. By the letter of the law, someone in possession could have been hit with a felony if the
guy
ban
I
was
know.
still in place. The ban was put on the books in multiple states around the country when martial arts movies became popular in the 70s, with Bruce Lee leading the way. But nunchuck crimes aren't exactly common.
I don't think it was a ban that was enforced to begin with, and so I really don't
It is
think
a
it makes
weird
that big
ban
of
to
a
have
difference,
nunchucks.
to be honest with you.
The antiquated
It's
ban
just-
never really put martial artists in
Nunchucks
danger.
to me have always been hilarious. Growing up as a kid, no one ever took him seriously. Like, same with Chuck Norris. Like, no one was really scared of Chuck Norris. Like, it was just a joke.
I think a lot of people really were at some point.
I know. But, like,
Which
as you
is
got older,
weird.
you're like, hey, he's just, you know.
Just a dude.
Nunchucks and Chuck Norris. You can't spell Chuck Norris, or you can't spell nunchucks without Chuck and
Chuck Norris, dude.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, well, I always think of Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite when he's like, of course, I have nunchuck skills, computer hacking skills.
There's so
and-
many funny things
and
with
I'm
nunchucks.
like, you know what, man? Nunchucks are kind of a joke.
They're never like someone's weapon of choice. And like the only time they were cool is like in a movie that was like an action movie, and you had
Bruce Lee.
the crazy Asian guy with
Crazy
sticking
Asian
his
guy.
sticking his
And
tongue
Bruce
out.
Lee, dude, Bruce Lee, whether you want to believe it or not, was the original first crazy Asian guy
Yeah.
that would do a jumping, a tornado kick and then stick his tongue out. So, I don't know.
There's that one guy though that's in every movie. You do a really good walk of him.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah. That's funny. All right, what else?
So nunchucks.
What else we got? Yeah, it's weird that those things were that illegal.
Can I where's Ryu? Can I get him as a friend?
Ryu?
Uh-huh.
No, but Taco Bell's opening a hotel resort in Palm Springs, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from here.
It's a current event.
Fuck yeah, it's a current event. dude.
Oh, it's an actual hotel and resort. Oh, okay, I thought they were like opening a restaurant in a hotel. I'm like, great, dude. Cool. Letting all of our Palm Spring listeners know that they can stop in at Taco Bell resort as they're passing through to San Diego.
Dude, Taco Bell's bringing a hotel and resort to Palm Springs, California. The fast food chain known for its Mexican offerings and hot sauce will be venturing
Hot sauce?
venturing into hospitality industry coming August. Purple Bell and all.
I thought they were known
Play
for the
that-
Baja
play that.
Bell.
Baja Blast
Baja Blast.
and their Twitter. That's not. That's not gonna.
Oh, you gave us nothing.
From check-in to check-out, the Bell, a Taco Bell hotel and resort, reimagines what a hotel stay can be, unveiling a destination inspired by tacos, fueled by fans. The company's official announcement reads, everything from guest rooms to breakfast and poolside cocktails will be infused with a Taco Bell twist, making this the flavor-filled getaway of 2019. You know what I'm for?
Do they up the quality for the food there?
I doubt it. I bet it suffers.
You bet it's just Taco Bell food, like. You know what I bet it's like? I bet it's like the cruise where they got like those.
Dude, what I
stations.
was just about to say was that I am for resorts or any sort of vacation destination, like doing a cruise type of vibe. Like if
Especially
you've got a
food,
theme,
the food's the main attraction. Like if they're
Whatever,
selling to you,
yeah.
like if it's Taco Bell,
like have a build your own burrito station, have a tostada station.
I bet they got a fajita section.
have a guy that's making tacos right in front of you.
They got the chalupas.
Sit
You
down.
can get the
and
Cinesticks.
do like a hibachi taco station.
And they got like Baja Blast, like dispensers just everywhere.
posted up all over the place.
Yeah, you fill that up
and
with Baja
and
Blast.
you do a vodka Baja, a Baja vodka.
Ooh, we're thinking now.
And
I might
that's
be down for Palm Sprizzy. We might be taking this tour on the road
the
to Palm
screw
Sprizzy.
party to Palm Sprizzy.
Palm Spreezy.
They got Windmill and Taco Bell, dude. That's and the outlets too.
Outlets and a good time. Cobe Swanson.
They got, is that where he hails?
Cobe. Yeah.
They got those dinosaurs too.
Do they? What do you mean they got dinosaurs? You know what else they have? Palm trees.
What else do we have current event wise?
I don't know. That's Taco Bell.
They have a hilarious Twitter.
You have a hilarious Twitter.
This is a petition I can get behind. Fans are petitioning to remove Robert Pattinson from the Batman.
I agree. Whose idea was it in the first place?
To put him in? I don't know.
I don't even know if we need to really read the article, but it seems just shy of 5,000 supporters.
Yeah, dude. If we could not have what was the movie that he was big in? Twilight. We can't. If we could not have Twilight be Batman, that'd be great.
Yeah, dude. Because Batman, we had Christian Bale be like Christian Bale's our Batman. Now, can I say this? Is
Michael Keaton's is
a lot of people
just as much my Batman as not as much. Nah.
Well, hear me out for a second, because I was just gonna say, as we've been watching all these Marvel movies, if you got to give them the better. If you're comparing DC and Marvel, you got to give it to Marvel because they have some fucking
100%.
consistency with their guys.
Yeah,
because it was only in 2011.
Affleck. Dude, yeah, Ben Affleck was Batman when?
Later, dude. Christian Bale, dude. The Dark Knight came out in 2010. Thor came out in 2011. So we still have the same Thor. And we're on the fourth fucking Batman.
Yeah.
And it's the same.
Well, because there was Batman who appeared in Batman vs Superman, which was Affleck.
Well, yeah.
And then he was in Justice League, and now, and in Suicide Squad, and now it's a totally different guy, and it's fucking Twilight. And I'm just like, dude, call me, okay? Call me. I'm made for that role.
Well, but that still doesn't solve the issue that they would get some longevity out of you, so then they could probably start to actually.
I don't have any aspirations to be an actor except for a superhero. I don't
get to be any of the superheroes except for Cap AM.
Yeah, you could be. You could probably be whoever you want to be superhero wise, but except for like the ones that I would be.
Can't be a Penguin, but I'd like to be.
But yeah, dude, I would be fine only being the Batman and Bruce Wayne, work for a few months out of the year being an actor and then the rest doing my other stuff.
Or just nothing. Because you could just be
No,
Batman.
I'd still want to do that. But yeah, they went with Robert Pattinson. And,
I just don't.
And I think I'm gonna be signing the petition as well.
I don't see it. I don't know. I don't know who wants it. Like, who would want him to be? I don't know who's like, fuck yeah, dude.
It seems like a lot of people who make these decisions for what becomes super popular, whether it be like
I see him more as the Joker,
whether it be in music. Yeah, I do see him way more as the Joker
or the Riddler.
He kind of looks like
he looks way more like a villain.
He looks like the bad guy from the first one.
Yeah, he does.
Not Liam Neeson. Scarecrow, yeah.
I see that too. I don't know why they would go. That's such a bull. Was there no one else? Everyone's like, sorry, I'm a Marvel guy.
Did everyone else retire?
They're Marvel guys. Like, they got consistency. Hoping Chris Evans pulls out as Captain AM.
I think he's done. He's hung up his shield.
Has he?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Marvel does. I mean,
I think they take it. Like I said, I think they make the.
You're on Guardians right now.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have very high hopes for Guardians of the Galaxy because I didn't know anything about them up until like the movie came out.
I bet they make like an Avengers type of movie for them, Deadpool and like Wolverine or something.
Well, I think eventually they'll marry the comic book X-Men with the Avengers via Deadpool someday. Yeah. That's my guess. But I just finished Ant-Man, which I had very low hopes for that as well. I had no expectations for Ant-Man.
That's the other thing with Marvels. They keep pumping out movies.
I had no expectations for Ant-Man, and it was a good flick. So now I'm on to Captain America Civil War, and I'm looking forward to be stressed out with that.
I just don't know, like, DC's not seeming like they're pumping out a lot of stuff. I'm really excited for that new Joker movie, the Joaquin Phoenix. I'm really excited for that one. Joaquin. Whatever the fuck. I'm excited for it.
Played Johnny Cash.
I think Marvel's I just think Marvel's on top of the game right now, man, by far. By this, because now you're gonna have Joaquin Phoenix. Maybe you have this storyline meet up with his,
which I don't think it does.
I think Joaquin Phoenix beats the piss out of Batman as Robert Pattinson. I don't like that's a
100%.
terrible matchup for Robert Pattinson. You cannot sell that to the American public that Joaquin Phoenix doesn't just beat the piss out of him.
Well, here's my question: does he? Because you know who in Hollywood who his Batman could beat? Jared Leto's Joker. If Jared Leto's the Joker and he's Batman, they're fucked. I mean, they honest to God.
Literally,
and I love Leto, dude.
And
figuratively, literally, they're fucked. I love Jared
they're
Leto.
Fucked, they're getting fucked. They're fucking.
But he's not that.
It's just not his role.
He's not
yet,
that.
and he's not this. Like, just.
I mean, Jared Leto is the fucking mascot for Gucci.
Did Ben Affleck not want to do it, or
no?
He just didn't want to do it.
I
That's
don't
fair.
think so.
And I think that is the same with Christian Bale, which is smart for Christian Bale because his career's not married to that role.
Yeah,
because like you talked about that with Robert Downey Jr. Like you said, he not sold, but he gave up his career to be Iron Man.
Well, I mean, his career was in the shit before Iron Man. Like right before Iron Man, he was in and out of rehab and jail and shit. So,
but
Iron Man saved Robert Downey Jr.'s life.
Yeah, but you got Christian Bale though, who's got like he's so talented. Like, and honestly, like we don't need him to be Batman still because he's just so fucking talented. I'd rather see him in a bunch of stuff. But make Vin Diesel Batman.
That's not a bad idea, dude, actually.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to see that. I could see Vin Diesel being a bad guy, though.
Really?
Yeah.
After being Groot?
Yeah. He is Groot, huh?
How far, what did you see, where you at with Groot?
Groot just fucks people up, dude. Destroyed that battery. I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of.
So you're halfway through Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, I'm more than halfway. I got like 30 minutes left.
What's Groot doing right now?
Right this second?
Where you left off,
dude. I don't know. I mean,
this is gonna be fun for everyone listening who's seen it.
I'm not. What's happening? They're in the. They're going on in that battle. They're in the sky. They're in the battle, and he just saved the green girl. He just saved Green Girl.
So they're up in the sky right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So then you're in for some shit in the last.
I can feel that. Well, that's why I stopped it because I was like, dude, I'm too tired. It's 11 o'clock. I need to get to bed, or otherwise I'm in for one.
It's a good call.
And then I got to watch like It's Always Sunny or Family Guy or some shit.
Oh, dude, you know what show went way downhill?
Game of Thrones. That's just what people are saying.
It didn't go downhill, dude. I'm not going to contribute.
I'm not trying to contribute. I'm just saying that's what general public is saying.
Okay,
that's what GP is saying.
Fuck about GP. I'm not going bad on Game of Thrones.
Okay. All right, so what show?
Billions, though. Billions.
Dude, I didn't even know what was going on. I didn't want to watch it I've been wanting to watch it because you were talking about it and other people were talking about it.
A lot of people have been.
But not anymore. It cooled off.
It was it started out as like a really cool show that like I think got a lot of people interested in finance and investing and hedge funds and all the sorts of shit.
And then they're like, "We got you, motherfuckers."
That was what happened, dude. And then all of a sudden,
monkeys
it was
clapping
like,
together symbols.
Jesus, everything, all the storylines became super dramatic to where it's like, I don't know how much of this is like. I know some of that stuff from the first 2 seasons for sure go on in real life. Like some of that shit is real.
Well, plus like you're close enough to it to where like you would know.
Yeah, like I'm close enough to a lot of that stuff
to where you can tell if it's real or if it's some bullshit.
Yeah, I've heard enough stories of people who are high up in these sort of environments that do these sort of things.
Yeah.
And so like that was that, but then it became about whatever, dude, and it like It's just it's weird. A lot of people got off the boat when they brought in this this gender fluid person who's super super smart, like smartest person of all time. But and I think it started out as a girl, but now she wants to be called an it, and you know, she has a real shaved head. Looks like Rose Namajunas, but not as hot.
I don't know, man. That's a bummer when that happens to the show. Not
Oh,
that.
and now
happened to
and then
shows,
on the
but-
last and then the last episode, she fucking like I didn't even know she was into people sexually, but there's a black chick on the show who's so hot. Evidently is into gender fluid
people
because she's just like looking at her, giving her the eyes, and she's kind of been doing it all season, so I've been waiting for it. But like,
oh, you've been watching the show.
Oh yeah, I mean I've watched it since the start. So
You know what
like,
show I want to watch?
I'm not gonna like bounce on it.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'll watch it to the end, but maybe not now. I mean, I don't know if they do another season. I'll probably be out. I don't know if I can renew for another season.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to watch. I've been wanting to watch Of Mikes and Men with Wu-Tang, the Wu-Tang show.
Is that
It's on Showtime.
It's not just a one.
No, it's a docu-series,
Oh, cool.
I think. But like Dave East plays Method Man, which is dope. It seems really cool. The only thing I heard is that they talk a lot about the Martin Shkreli stuff, which is the dude who made all that money saying he found a cure for AIDS or something like that. There was all this controversy. You can look into it, but he ended up buying the Wu-Tang last album that was unreleased on auction.
The rights to it, or
Yeah. And he kind of fucked Wu-Tang over with it. There was all kinds of stuff with it, and supposedly they got a lot into it. So if you're like a real Wu-Tang fan, that's such a small part of it, so you probably wish there was more. Like, I just heard that I was listening to Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne, and Charlemagne said he wished that there was more about the actual story of Wu-Tang and less about the Martin Shkreli stuff. But I don't know how much about it there even was, or
yeah, you gotta watch.
because he grew up in that era.
You gotta watch it and find out. Gotta watch it and find out.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. This has been a good episode. Episode 43. It's been fun.
It was fun. We moved through it quick. It was, I mean, if you look at the time, we're not even.
Yeah, dude. What else we got?
We got plenty of time. I mean, I think people are going to be excited that we got an early one done. I think if we try to do anything past this, people are going to be like, they're forcing it, and I don't want that.
It.
So.
Well, now, you know, and
we're out of juice.
Yeah.
For the episode.
We can end on this.
In a good way, though.
Yeah. We're out of juice. Just like on when you play backyard baseball with Pablo Sanchez and the little juice box, the pitcher. You need to get the juice box for the new pitcher. You know what I'm talking about?
No, dude. Go on with what you're saying, though.
Oh, well,
I know Pablo Sanchez, but I don't know about juice box.
You don't remember the juice box? That was their level of their energy for pitching. And then, like, it would be squeezed. Anyways, yeah, I think now we're starting to, like, get in our groove more. So, like, even if it's just an hour.
Back in the New York groove.
It's a better hour. Yeah. Versus, like, an hour 45 and just whatever.
Yeah, dude.
A bunch of random current events.
Just showing up and whipping our dicks out is what we are known for.
Making weight. Making weight, showing up, waving our dicks around. Where can we find you on social media? Oh, this is nice of us to do. We haven't done this ever.
Well, dude, we're in the frame of mind. We got time.
Yeah. Yeah. Find me at Zach Scott Weber.
I'm
on Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I don't fuck with Twitter anymore.
I'm at Real Justin Weber on everything. For the new people that are just now tuning in, I'm Justin.
I'm Zach, also known as Z.
But yeah, I'm really Jay.
Yeah, and I'm Z, and we appreciate you guys coming on, and have a fun fucking week, guys.
Yeah. We did that wrong. Hang on,
what do you mean we did that wrong? I just said, like,
let's
have
redo
fun
it.
week.
No, I know. I think I did it wrong though.
No, there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just do it.
I gotta have a
being
sign.
weird.
We gotta have a sign off.
Idiot. I'm Jay. I'm Z.
Yeah, we didn't do it though, right?
Yeah, but we weren't even there yet.
All right. So for those of you guys just tuning in,
Hey, before you do all this, leave us a review, would ya? And share.
I knew I was forgetting
subscribe.
something.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
We need to let the people know to grow the zoo. We want it to grow.
Healthy zoo.
Healthy zoo. We got to, we got this merch that we're always looking at. At some point, it's going to go out. So
We
keep your
have
eyes
it, dude. It's done, and
It's been done since fucking
people want
December.
it too.
It's
That's
been done
what's
since
weird.
December. Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, and we got fucking paperwork we got to now fill out because of the Arizona Department of Business or whatever they're called. So,
well,
I got to get to that tomorrow.
Yeah, evidently, that's what happens when you don't shake the governor's hand at a charity event. So,
yeah, but Nunchucks get no more lifetime ban. So,
good news.
Ban gets lifted.
All around, guys. For those of you just tuning in to episode 43, I've been Jay.
I am Z.
And together, undoubtedly, we are Jay-Z. Cheer. Hope.
This feeling right now, man, I swear it feel. Yeah.